Hello everyone. In this video we are going to discuss about the differences between client scripts and UI policies. As we covered in previous videos, both client scripts and UI policy governs the form behavior and applies the logic on web browsers, forms in ServiceNow platform. But let's go a bit more specifics into the differences between client scripts and UI policies. Will the both client scripts and UI policies executes on the form load? Yes, I guess that's true. Both of the client scripts and UI policies will execute this logic on load of the form. For the UI policies, we have to specifically select that check marks in the configuration as true. For example, in this case, we have to select the on load select box so that this UI policy only gets this UI policy also gets executed when the form gets loaded. But for the client script, we have on load client script. Then the next one, execute on form, save or submit or update action. Yes, client scripts will execute because we have on submit client script which gets executed on submission of the form. But I think UI policy we don't have any option to execute on submission of the form. So if there is some requirement that we want to achieve it on submission of the form, then we have client scripts in place and we can't do that with the UI policies. Then the next one is, will the both client scripts and UI policy execute on form field value change? So in client script we have on change client scripts which will be executed when the form field value changes from something to something, then on change client script will execute. But UI policy, yes, UI policies also will execute if the field value changes, any particular field value changes on the table. And the next one, have access to fields old value. This is a bit more interesting. We have a parameter on change client script as old value. That means that yes, in client scripts we have an access to the old value of the field. Do we have something like this in UI policy? No, we don't have something like this in UI policy. The next one is execute after client scripts. So UI policies will always execute at the last. That means that first client script will be executed on the particular table on the form, and next the UI policy whichever is defined will be applied. If you have a same client scripts and UI policies being created for the same requirement, then which one will be executed? Then UI policy will be executed. Even when you are debugging it, it is important to see if there is any conflicting UI policies are there, if your client script will not be working as desired. Then the next one is set field attributes with no scripting. As we know, client scripts require a bit of scripting and we have to use the client-side APIs that are available in ServiceNow mostly. But UI policies, yes, we don't have to write any script to make any field mandatory, visible or read-only. Require control over the order of the execution. I think we have order in client scripts as well that gets triggered based on the order of the client script, but UI policies will have more control over the order of the execution than the client scripts, and also to keep have a check that UI policies will get executed at the last. If there is any debugging that you are doing on client scripts, then you also need to think if there is a conflict UI policies that are available or not. Apart from this, there will be few more differences between client script and UI policies. And if you look at this, the developer point of view, client scripts are more flexible to perform wide range of tasks because you have client-side APIs which will be handy at your fingertips, and you can achieve that by writing the client script. But UI policies are limited if you just want to use the declarative policies to make the fields mandatory, read-only, and visible. These field attributes need to be changed, then UI policies are there. But if you want to do much more than that, then again you have to go to the script fields that are available in the UI policy as well. So in terms of complexity, client scripts are a bit more complex, and it will be challenging to maintain the client scripts compared to the UI policies as well. The performance, when you think about the performance, the UI policies are generally optimized for the performance because you know what you're going to do and you have the policies been created and you have the order in place. So that will all be optimized as per the best standard. Whereas client script, you would be using the client script as per your requirement. There could be chances that it could lead into some of the performance issues when the form getting loaded or when the form gets shipped, when the form field value changes. But on overall, in the performance side of it, UI policies are a bit more optimized than the client scripts.